Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about anything and everything health, healing, and prosperity on this channel. So if this is your first time watching these videos, that's what you can expect. And if you're returning back, well, thanks for coming back. It's a pleasure. Today, I want to speak about kindness, not just about kindness for others and how much easier that makes our life in socializing and being a part of a community, but I really want to touch on kindness for ourselves. So if you've come here and you've seen some of the videos on my channel thus far, you know I talk a lot about healing. I talk a lot about manifestation, talk a lot about forgiveness and compassion through the ways of Jesus and what he has taught us in his time here. But kindness is something I'm yet to touch on. Throughout my healing journey, I had many moments where I had an awareness of a pattern within myself that I no longer wanted. And once I'd recognized it, there were multiple times after that it kept coming up. And instead of meeting myself with kindness and compassion for not fully realizing and releasing, I was still playing out the same pattern. I would get upset with myself. I'd get frustrated, and that would cause resistance to my present moment, which would keep me stuck in that same cycle of pain. So I want to tell you an important step along my journey that rapidly increased the way I was able to move those feelings of pain and that trauma through and out so that I did not have to hold on to them any longer. And that was through kindness, kindness for myself, kindness in a way where I didn't have to have everything figured out yet. I didn't put this pressure and expectation on myself to be perfect. Instead, when those moments arose and I saw myself playing out that same negative belief or negative pattern, instead of judging myself and resisting what I had just found, I met myself with kindness. This is something that may be a little harder for some to do. If you were like me and put a lot of pressure and expectation on yourself to be a certain way, then it can be quite a difficult place to get to. But I promise, when you do get there, the effects of kindness towards yourself is only going to rapidly increase your ability to heal and your ability to get back to a place of love within yourself. So, if you're on that journey, or if you're about to start, try to be kind to yourself. Be gentle. That may be a little bit harder for the blokes out there. I know it was for me. Some of the women that I've met find that quite easy to do. But hey, there's no set way for any gender or anything. We all have our own ways. Nobody has to do it one way because your healing journey ultimately is about you. And nobody knows you but you, which is why I'm here to speak this message to you, because I realized on my healing journey, although I had a lot of influence and a lot of help from books and podcasts and people in my life that had experienced what I was going through, ultimately I was the best person to help myself once I had the tools. Without the tools, I could do nothing. But once I gathered the tools, I realized that only I can connect to that pain within me the best because I know it and I've experienced it. Sidetrack, but getting back to kindness. When we are kind and gentle with ourselves, we connect quicker and deeper to the pain, because when we are being kind and we're taking that intention in, our nervous system is already more relaxed, already willing to allow us into the subconscious where the real healing work is done. When we cause resistance in ourselves through frustration or anger for recognizing something that is continuing to outplay in our life, that resistance actually closes off that part. It closes off our ability to get into the subconscious. And the subconscious is where all of these beliefs are stored. And that's where we need to access. How do we get into the subconscious? We need to be relaxed. We need to be calm. We need to be feeling safe. And for me, I realized that when I held resistance and I reacted negatively to what had surfaced, I wasn't feeling safe. Even though this was happening within my own body, these emotions were surfacing within me, I did not feel safe to handle them because I looked at it as wrong. I was still putting myself in this light of perfection. I must be perfect to love myself. And that was great when I did things right because I loved myself. But when I made mistakes, that thought pattern only caused me to go deeper down into the pain that I was actually hoping to let go of. So the kindness really helped me stay in a place where the healing could happen. I wanted to speak this to you today because recently there'd been some moments in my life, even though I had learnt this, things had surfaced that were causing anger and frustration in me. And that was the one that has been the hardest for me to stay kind towards because anger is not what I want. Anger is not what I want to be. But I have still kept some of that within me. And even though I give this advice to you now because I clicked to it eventually, the first couple of days that anger and that frustration had surfaced, I was resisting it because it wasn't what I wanted. And so I had to learn my own lesson again, you know. And I'll always speak like this to you because I'm not perfect. I'm a human and I'll continue to learn. And I hope that by sharing the ups and the downs, it shows you that anybody can do this work, not just the spiritually heightened or gifted or the people who are surrounded by a community of love all the time. Anybody can do it. Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how knowing you are of this side of life. Anybody can start their healing journey because all you need is you and the right tools. And I hope that I can provide some tools for you to navigate through these sides of you throughout these videos on YouTube, on Instagram, and I hope soon to be bringing you some really useful content of how to navigate each of those steps. I'd like some help doing that too. If any of you out there feel okay putting some comments in of what you'd like me to speak on or something that you might be struggling with that you've seen me touch on a little bit, you'd like me to go deeper, I would love that. I would love your input and I would love your feedback because I'm truly here for you. I'm not showing up here for any other reason than to help you guys with the lessons that I've learned because my life has truly changed from these lessons. I've gone from lows to highs, back to lows when I've needed to learn lessons. But the reason that I got to those highs was because I was able to let go and release some of what I was holding on to that was holding me back. And that is so motivational for me to keep going because I've seen the change in my life. I've seen what it can do. I've seen what comes in when we become a match to the love that we want. But what I didn't understand for so long is that some of what I was harboring was not love. And so I was attracting in situations and people that didn't reflect what I truly wanted because of what I was carrying unknowingly. And that's why I speak on kindness today. Because sometimes we don't even know that we're carrying these things, these emotions, these traumas, this pain that creates a life that we don't want. And so we have to be kind because we didn't know what we were doing. As Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. Well, that's a great way to approach kindness and compassion for others, but it's also a great way to approach yourself because there are many things that you might not know that you carry that are causing this pattern in your life that you no longer want. I hope today that this message helps someone maybe start their journey of healing or take another step or have a look at themselves with kindness instead of resistance because kindness will get you far, far further ahead than resistance ever will. Thank you. I hope today you can be yourself. That's the best gift you can offer to the world because nobody can be you but you. Thank you for watching till the end if you made it this far. I love you. See you soon.